Peace, family. This video right here is about humble hand versus iron fist. Now, before I go into this, let me reiterate. If you didn't just watch my ego versus spirit video, you need to go watch it. Now, with that being said, humble hand and iron fist. The Caucasian rules with the iron fist. The African or melanated being, entity, light being, condensed sunlight, melanin, us, we rule with humble hand. Now, the ego, like I explained in my last video, represents fear. Now, I'll give you an example. And the spirit represents love. I'll give you an example. A spider, right? A spider can be this goddamn big. You see it in your house, you go crazy. Oh my God, get it. That spider's not thinking about you. We know that you are compared to that spider, you are a giant. You are a Nephilim compared to that spider. It's probably not even poisonous. You can step on this spider, kill it, spray it with bleach. It's a million different ways you can rid yourself of this spider. But it's only one way you can get rid of it and still love it. And that's to gently pick it up and get it outside your house. So if you listen to your ego, you have 1,000 ways to murder this spider. If you listen to your soul, you have one true way to interact with it naturally and get it out your house. But guess what you're going to do? You're going to go with the ego because you're scared. Now, why are you scared of this spider? Why does the ego tell you fear? Because the ego, this imaginary person that you exist and listen to, is telling you that, oh my God, it can kill me, eat me, suck my blood. This small little spider can just, you don't even know why you're scared. Your ego just making you scared. But the main reason is because it's different from you. It doesn't look like you. It has 8 legs, you have 2. It has more eyes than you. It lives its life different from you. So since you don't understand the spider, you fear the spider. Now, this is symbolic to white people and black people. Because white people are egotistical. Why? Because they fear where they come from. They fear the truth because it's not in their favor. So what do? They treat black people like the spider. They murder you out of their own fear of you because they don't understand you. Why? Because they're no longer a part of your culture. So they do everything they can to block out anything that has to do with the greatness of the black race. Why? Because they're egotistical. They're not spiritual. Because they're not in tune with nature because they're too busy in tune with fantasy land in their egos. Now, this is going to tune into why white people rule with iron hand and why black people rule with humble fist. So follow me, family. So just like the spider that everybody in their household kills because they fear it, when you go to court, that white judge looks at you just like that spider. That young black man like me. Picture me, y'all. I done made all these videos uplifting my people. What? I better not never catch no case. Why? Because the judge fears me. I'm that spider to that judge. And he's that ego. He's that egotistical person and I'm that spider minding my business. Moving my web to do what I'm supposed to do as a black man. And you fear me. Because you in your ego. Instead of loving me for the truthful person I am. So you're going to kill me. You're going to think of a million ways to try to squash me. So now with that being said, this is where white people come into ruling with the iron fist. Black people, we were naturally spiritual beings. Naturally. We shared. We didn't do business. We gave. We loved. You can come live in my house. I will teach you. Takes a village to raise a child. Apparently the whole village didn't give birth to that child, but we all raised it. We were spiritual entities. Now, due to the Caucasian race being a genetic mutation offspring of us and blah, blah, and all the other trials and tribulations that I went through, they became egotistical. And when they went to the Caucasus Mountains and developed the criminal mentality, they came and affected us with it, and we also have become egotistical. So now the white man rules us by iron fist instead of humble hand. And due to him enslaving us and educating us through Western civilization, we have been taught to rule each other by iron fist. What do I mean by this? Example. Instead of letting a lot of shit go in the black community, we react violently. Because we rule with iron fist, not humble hand, just like the white man. The slave master taught you look at the ground or he gonna beat you. The slave master taught you do what he tell you to do or he gonna beat you. Now what do we do with our black children in our household? Sit your ass down if I whoop your ass. That's egotistical. That's not spiritual. A child is supposed to be energetic and interactive. Why don't you get energetic and interactive with him and go run around with him at a park or something? It's like, or her. It's like we have been taught to rule with iron fist, not humble hand. But what's even more deadly is we expect to be ruled with the iron fist or a humble hand. What do I mean by this? We have been beaten and physically abused for so goddamn long that if somebody does not do that to you now, you think something's wrong with them. What do I mean by that? Black man, and I'm not saying don't let nobody put your hands on you, because that's not happening. But what I'm saying is, black man. I'm going to go to black man, then black woman next. So black man first. Black man, right? If somebody says something you don't like, and you are mature enough to not react, that person who was in their ego will automatically think you pussy. And you might be a stone cold killer. Like, I'm not saying I'm a stone cold killer, but I'm saying I used to get it in back in the days. Like, so me being me now, I ignore a lot of stuff because I'm spiritual and I understand this is my indoctrinated ass Negro black brother who I love even though he's a fucking fool. So with that being said, is a person who doesn't know me, you gonna automatically accredit me to being pussy, I'm soft, I'm a bitch, excuse my language, but this is just, I'm speaking to the people, the black people in the hood. Accredit me with all these negative attributes because I made a mature decision. Why? Because you expect to be ruled with the iron fist. You expect that if you say something out your mouth, you expect me to react to you negatively in a physical manner. Why? Because you've been beat for so many years over here in America by the slave master. That's what you've become to expect as a reaction to your behavior. And when I don't give it to you, you think I'm weak. Because true kings rule with a humble hand, not an iron fist. Because if you have to force something on somebody, it's not good. But the white man has falsely claimed himself as a king and ruled you with the iron fist for so long that when I rule you with a humble hand, you deem me or credit me unfit to be a king because I'm not violent and rageful. That is disgusting that you have been conditioned to that. Or females. Because don't get it twisted. You got some females out here who be like, I want a nigga that got mad females. I mean, it's not fun if nobody female. I want a nigga that's cheating. If my man don't hit me when I get smart, he not a man. I need a nigga gonna put me in my place. So you've been so conditioned to the white man beating you and raping you, your ancestors. And yes, behavior does get passed down through DNA. So don't get it twisted. So that's just like when they say you act just like your mama. Or most kids, we ain't got no father. Black kids. But our grandmas and our parents still say, boy, you act just like your father. And I ain't never met the man. So it's like, that's proof right there that the emotional and mental traits of the parent, what they went through, their experiences, does get passed down to the child. So by our ancestors being abused for so many years, that expectation of abuse has been passed down us. Now getting back on a female. If a man does not beat you, or treat you a certain way, or talk to you a certain way, you deem him unfit to be your man, or he's not a king in your eyes, because he doesn't rule you with the iron fist, he rules you with the humble hand. So black people, we got to get out of this mentality and go back to the humble hand. Now, I'm not saying the humble hand can't turn into an iron fist. That ain't what I'm saying. But I'm saying let the humble hand turn into an iron fist. Don't just come with the iron fist. And if right now you coming with the iron fist, turn it to a humble hand. Because that is our way of ruling. We're not egotistical, we're spiritual. And when you understand that you are a spiritual being who is connected to the all in all, you automatically rule with a humble hand because you gain a certain type of love and respect for all entities. Even me, I have a certain amount of love and respect for the Caucasian. I don't just talk about Caucasians because I'm egotistical. I say what I say out of facts. If I said one untrue thing about a Caucasian, please call me out on it. I have not said nothing that science doesn't prove. I have not outstepped the boundaries of factual documented data to put my own personal opinion in on the Caucasian being or entity. I love the Caucasian for the entity that they are and the purpose that they were created to do. But what you were created to do has been done, and your 6,000 year period is up. Now let black people come back to being spiritual entities. And I will speak the truth on you and black people as well. Now, with that being said, black people, we have been beaten with the iron fist for so long that we expect it. And it's horrible that your child can be at home and they expect more whoopings out of the day than hugs. They expect to be yelled at more times out of the day than be talked to nicely. Even you got parents who, when they teach their kids homework, they pop them when they get the answer wrong. What kind of shit is that? That's not humble hand. That's iron fist. Look how much you've learned just from me speaking the truths that I spiritually have come stumbled upon. I ain't hit nobody to get this knowledge. I ain't came in your house. I do this from the comfortability of my own couch. Because I'm ruling with a humble hand. And everybody's learning. I'm not ruling with the iron fist. So with that being said, black people, stop expecting destruction in order to feel love. Expect somebody to lift you up to feel love. The person that discouraged you, you hanging with them all day. But the person that's trying to build you up and encourage you, you shun them away. What sense does this make? It doesn't make any sense. So basically what your mentality is, like you got people who might genuinely try to give you something and you feel like, oh, I ain't taking nothing because it might be something attached to that. Yes, there are people who do that, but this is another day and age. So basically what you're saying is like, oh, the white man would have never just gave me this for free. He'd have made me work for it. So you got to have an angle. It got to be something creepy about you. Or, oh, this man would have never pulled my chair out for me or opened the door for me or been nice. You must be soft. You must be a lame. That's what you men and women is basically saying. So, and if that is what you're saying, you damn right. The white man wouldn't have did it because I'm not the white man. So, I'm a black man and I would do it for you because I'm a humble and spiritual individual. So, black people, stop. Get out of that ego and get back to the spirit and the love. Love the ants, love the worms, love the birds, love the trees, love the dirt, love the planet, because the planet loves you. It's like you have become so out of tune with nature, it's crazy. Like most of y'all litter. But okay, do the analysis of this. Most of y'all litter, right? Where they say that the body, everything returns to the source. Is it not? The water in your sink came out the sink, it go right back down in the drain. Back to the sewer. I mean, back to the sewer line where it came from, the sink. So with that being said, when you return to the source or you do what they call death, which doesn't actually occur, you just go to another realm. Your body goes back to the earth where it came from. So why don't you respect the earth? This is why they call it Mother Earth, because the earth actually gave birth to the body that you're using, including the we know that the body is made up of carbon and stars burst and give off elements and blah blah blah. But sticking to being standard. We know that the earth gave you the chemical composition of the physical being that you use today called a body, that you inhabit as a soul. So with that being said, you throw paper on this earth. That's disrespectful. So what if a bird or a monkey just came and threw some shit on you? How would you feel? You would feel disrespected. But yet, you don't think the planet feels disrespected? I told you the planet is a living organism. If you don't believe me, look it up. The planet has a radio frequency of 8.7. Guess what your brain station is? The radio frequency of your brain is 8.7. Thoughts travel on electrical current. Why do you think the nervous system of the body is what? Electrical. Anything that has intelligence is electrical. This cell phone is electrical. Your computer is electrical. And guess what the earth has? A gravity field that is what? Electrical currents. The longitude and latitude lines are electrical currents. And your thoughts that you emit. Like you ever see a train and how the train, when you see the electric train, they got the cords at the top and the little currents of the train connect and that's what tells the train to go. Well, your thoughts connect to the latitude and longitude lines of the earth and they travel all around. And you speak to the earth. This is why Indians used to say we can put our ear to the earth and we know what the earth is saying because they were so in tune with that 8.7 radio frequency, they knew what it was saying. So now since white people have been ruling you with the iron fist and made you egotistical and made you think it's uncool to love the extension of yourself, which is this planet, you are no longer have a humble hand. And since you become unhumble, you become disrespectful. And you got people who walk up the street and can't stop spitting. You just keep spitting on the mother earth where you came from. You just throwing trash. You just throwing liquor bottles. If you look at the black community, it is one of the most dirtiest and filthy, disgusting environments. Why? Because we have become the most dirtiest and filthy and disgusting beings mentally due to the Caucasian ruling you with an iron fist. When you go to the suburbs, they neighborhoods is clean. You know why? Because they don't rule each other with the iron fist. They come out in the morning, come onto the porch, say, hey, Joe, how are you? They meet, they greet. Go in a public area. Watch how many strangers or white people that's considered strangers to each other speak to each other and say hi. How are you? Yeah, did you catch that game last week, Billy? Yeah. They're very loving with each other. Not black people. We screw face each other. What this bitch looking at? She looking at my man. Or nigga, this nigga looking at me. Word, niggas don't be looking at me like that. We iron fist. And white people humble hand. They have switched the roles. And by giving you the role of the iron fist, you have become a savage. The same savage they were in the Caucasus Mountains, and they have become a god and goddess. The same god and goddess you were in Kemet, aka Egypt. So now you disrespect your mother. Not just your physical mother in a humanly form, but your astral mother, the planet Earth. You even litter. So black people, go back to being spiritual and go back to having a humble hand. And that's not gonna do nothing until you have that's not gonna happen until you have a humble mind. And with that being said, get your mind right and stop expecting abuse. Expect love. And if somebody doesn't give you love, then they need to expect that you're going to get them out your life immediately, because they have just shown and proved to you that they are negative towards your spiritual growth and development. Peace.